Have you ever heard about a teenager who managed to fool Wall Street and walked away a millionaire before even graduating high school? This isn't some fairy tale or Hollywood movie. It's the unbelievable story of how one young man, armed with nothing but a laptop, a Wi-Fi connection, and too much curiosity, managed to shake the world's most powerful financial system. His name was Ethan Cole, 17 years old, from a small town in Ohio. He wasn't some tech prodigy or math genius. He was just a bored teenager who hated homework, loved video games, and spent most of his time online. But deep down, Ethan had one obsession: money. Not because he wanted fancy cars or clothes, but because he wanted to escape the life he was born into. Ethan's parents worked 2 jobs each. His dad was a truck driver, his mom cleaned houses. Bills piled up faster than they could pay them, so while other kids dreamed about college, Ethan dreamed about freedom, the kind only money could buy. One night, scrolling through Reddit, Ethan stumbled across a post on a trading forum. The title read, "I turned $500 into $100,000 with options. AMA." That single post changed his life. He clicked it, read every comment, every chart, every explanation. It sounded insane, buying something called call options that could multiply your money overnight. Most people in the thread were skeptical, calling it gambling. But Ethan didn't care. Gambling sounded better than being broke forever. The next morning, instead of watching Netflix, he opened a free trading simulator. It was fake money, but the market was real, and he fell in love instantly. The green and red candles on the screen, the adrenaline rush every time prices moved. It was like playing a video game, except the rewards could be real. For weeks, Ethan studied non-stop. YouTube, Reddit, Twitter, blogs. He devoured everything about stocks, options, and markets. He wasn't just watching tutorials, he was taking notes like a scientist. Soon he was predicting price moves better than most adults on the forums. Then came the day he decided to go real. He sold his old Xbox, his sneakers, and even his bike. Anything to scrape together a few $100s. With $750 in his Robinhood account, he was ready. His first few trades, total disasters. He lost half his money in a week. But instead of quitting, Ethan doubled down. He treated every mistake as data. He realized something most beginners never do, that the market wasn't just about numbers. It was about emotion, fear, greed, panic. He began to see patterns, not just in charts, but in people. By the time summer came around, he was turning small trades into big wins. He wasn't rich, but he was getting good, really good. Then, in late 2020, Ethan discovered something strange. A new stock called Greenvolt Energy, a small renewable energy startup, was getting attention online. But the more he read, the more he realized something didn't add up. Hedge funds were heavily shorting the company, betting it would fail. Yet, on Reddit, small investors were buying it like crazy, calling it the next Tesla. Ethan smelled opportunity. He spent nights digging through SEC filings, company reports, and online rumors, and then he saw it, a pattern almost identical to what had happened with GameStop earlier that year. Hedge funds were trapped in short positions, and if the stock price jumped even a little, they'd be forced to buy it back, causing a massive short squeeze. This was it, his moment. He threw everything into Greenvolt options, $2,000, every cent he had. Calls that would only pay off if the stock doubled within 2 weeks. It was insane, even suicidal, but something in his gut told him this was it. He didn't sleep that night. The next morning, Greenvolt opened higher, up 5%, then 10%. Ethan's hands shook as he watched his small account grow to $3,000, then $4,500. But he didn't sell. He remembered what the pros always said: let your winners run. By the third day, Greenvolt was up 80%. His $2,000 had become $30,000. And that's when he did something bold. He posted his trades on Reddit. The post went viral overnight. Thousands of traders flooded into Greenvolt. The stock exploded. Within 48 hours, Ethan's $30,000 had turned into $1.2 million. He sat there, staring at the screen, completely frozen. His hands were trembling. He refreshed the app again and again, convinced it was a glitch. But it wasn't. He was rich. A 17-year-old kid had just beaten Wall Street. But then, things got weird. By the next day, Greenvolt hit every news channel, CNBC, Bloomberg, even Fox. Analysts were confused, hedge funds were furious, and regulators were monitoring the situation. Ethan's post was trending everywhere, but nobody knew it was him. He was just another Reddit username, u/QuantumKid, until someone found out. A financial journalist traced the trades back to a small-town account and leaked that the mastermind behind the Greenvolt squeeze was a teenager. Within hours, Ethan's name, face, and even his high school appeared online. Reporters camped outside his house. The FBI wanted a few words. Ethan panicked. He had no idea what he'd done wrong. All he did was make smart trades, right? But apparently, when you make millions and shake billion-dollar hedge funds, people start asking questions. He tried to lay low, but it was too late. His inbox flooded with offers. Investment firms wanted him to intern. Influencers wanted him on podcasts. But deep down, Ethan knew it was all too fast. He hadn't even cashed out yet. The next day, the unthinkable happened. Robinhood froze trading on Greenvolt. No one could buy anymore. Prices plummeted. Ethan's $1 million account was dropping thousands every second. He tried to sell, but the app crashed again and again. By the time it reopened, his balance was down to $250,000. Still a fortune, but a brutal loss in less than 24 hours. He sat there, silent. His mom walked in, confused by the pale look on his face. He didn't say a word, just stared at the screen. When the dust settled, Ethan had learned his first real lesson about Wall Street. They play by different rules. Over the next few weeks, he withdrew what he could, $180,000 after taxes and fees. Enough to change his life, but far from the millions he once had. He used part of it to pay off his parents' debt and fix their house. The rest, he quietly invested again, not in risky options this time, but in long-term stocks. But Ethan wasn't done. He wanted revenge, not out of anger, but out of principle. He wanted to prove that regular people could beat the system built to keep them out. So he started building something new, a trading bot. Not one of those scammy scripts online, but an AI-powered algorithm he coded himself. He spent nights teaching it to read news sentiment, monitor Reddit threads, and predict volatility spikes. Months passed. He tested, tweaked, and refined. And then, one night, the bot did something unexpected. It predicted a huge market dip before it even hit the headlines. Ethan didn't believe it, but he placed a small trade just to see. The next morning, the market crashed exactly as predicted. His small test made $12,000 in a single day. He stared at the code on his screen. He had built something powerful. Soon, Ethan started using the bot to trade quietly. He didn't brag on Reddit anymore. He didn't post screenshots. He just watched his account grow, steadily, silently, like a ghost in the machine. By the time he turned 19, Ethan had over $3 million, legally earned, quietly earned, and this time, nobody knew his name. One evening, he walked through the same small town where he grew up. Same streets, same cracked sidewalks, same tired houses. But everything felt different now. Not because he was rich, but because he had beaten the game that was never meant for him to win. He passed a billboard that read, "Wall Street runs on power and precision." He smiled. "Not anymore," he whispered, because somewhere in that small Ohio bedroom, a teenager once built a system so clever, so unpredictable, that even Wall Street couldn't see it coming. And they still don't.